Good morning, Facebook and YouTube. Today on How Hugh, I'm going to start working on the walls for the Harbor Freight teardrop trailer that I'm building. It's a teardrop inspired trailer. So I've got a couple of sheets of some plywood over here. 23/32. So plywood's hard to find and at least reasonably priced. So this was still 40 bucks a sheet. Other stuff a little bit thicker was like 90 bucks a sheet. So I'm gonna lay it out on the ground. It has two sides. It has a more finished side and a less finished side. So I want the finished sides to be the outside of the trailer, and I'm gonna cut these at the same time. That's the plan anyway. So I'm gonna lay one with the nice side down, and then on top of it, I'm gonna lay the other one with the nice side up. I'm gonna put it up onto some sawhorses. They weigh a lot. I'll weigh them when they're done. I think they're probably at least 50 pounds each. So this will be interesting on how I get them up onto sawhorses. So I have a plan. So let's get to work. Okay, so this is the less desirable side. Put this on the ground. Something like that. Okay. That's also less desirable side, so we'll sandwich it up and have the good side facing up. Straighten this up a little bit. Okay, so the idea is to lift it in sections, or in steps, in order to get it up to the full height. So the first step is I'm going to lift up an end and put it on this this little box. Can. Okay, so I've actually pulled it quite a bit above the box. So when I lift that other side, it's kind of like a lever. Okay, and this other side, I'm going to try to lift it up, get it onto this foam target I got here. This is an archery target, really high, nice foam. So I'm going to try to lift it up, and I should be able to pull it this way a little bit and get it onto the target. That's the idea anyways. Okay, now I'm going to try to see if I can get that underneath there. How heavy is it on this? Not heavy at all. So let's get this positioned a little bit better. Okay, that's a start. Okay, I'm going to try to do something similar on this side. Lift it up, push it underneath, and displace that foam block. Okay, so here's the basic plans of what I'm going to do. Each square is a foot. And this will be utilizing just full sheets of plywood for the sides. So it's an 8-footer. So I'm going to do them 8 feet minus 1 inch. So they're going to be 1 inch short, so that on each side, a 1/2 inch piece of plywood can fit flush with the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and draw it out now. let's see how that goes. Okay, so I'm gonna lay it out. This is gonna be my front edge, that'll be my back edge. So measure up 3 feet and make a mark. We're gonna be at 2 feet and 2 feet here. So we're gonna go 2 feet in and then 2 feet in. Okay, those are the next two marks at 2 feet and 4 feet. So this will angle across here, that'll be a flat, and then that'll angle down there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw that line. Okay, this plywood has a little bit of a bow to it, so I'm gonna use a thin piece of 2x4 I had cut down and as my straight edge, and just kind of clamp it to it, and it'll hopefully stay in place, and mark it. Okay, that's that. And there we go. So we'll have 3 cuts to make. Okay, the lines are a little bit hard to see on the camera, but there's cuts down here, cuts down there, and cuts down there. Before I put a ring on it, I want to make sure that that's the shape I really want. And I think I like it, because once I cut it, unless I do other cuts, that's the shape. So, kind of picture myself sitting down inside of it. Okay. Definitely have some headroom here. Laying down here. So we could be about that wide right there. So, okay, I think this is it. Who knows if I'll ever really sleep in it. You know, I like to build. Okay, now I want to make sure that these 2 sheets are lined up with each other nice and straight as I can get them, because I'm going to cut them both at the same time, because I want them, if there's a mistake, I want it to be on both of them. I want them to be the same, they need to be equal. So, okay, I have it all clamped in place. Now I need to figure out how I want to cut it. So the first thing I want to do is change the blade on my old Black & Decker skill saw thing here, whatever you call them. So I've got a DeWalt plywood blade. The DeWalt blades are okay. They're probably made in China like everything else. But it's for plywood. This other one's for ripping big stuff, so always make sure it's unplugged. So this one has a little button, a little blade lock button. So what I like to do is I like to push that blade lock button. Make sure the cord's all out of the way. Open that up and put that there. Uses a 1/2 inch. Unscrew that. Open the guard. Slide the blade out, it has a little collet. Remember, you always put the writing outside, the advertisement out. Put that in place. Little collet back on. Change the orientation for tightening. Back to tighten. Get it to where the There we go. The blade lock's engaged. Blade lock's engaged. And tighten it now. These are not monster tight, just tight. Okay. Nothing wrong with this old blade, so well, that's wearing out a little bit, but that's got a few more cuts left in it. So go hang this on the wall. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to lay out a guide to go against. So if I'm going this direction with the guide on the right, I have to set it 1.5 inches from the line, and then that'll give me a cut on the line. If I'm going the other direction, I have to set it 4.5 inches, and that will give me a cut on the line. So let's figure out how I want to set up a guide, because I don't want to freehand this. I used to be better freehanding, but you know what? For long straights, it's best just to do a guide. Okay, I'm going to use a 2x4 as a guide. So I have it loosely clamped into place. So let's get it right to its 1.5 inches. So that's a little bit heavy right there. We'll measure it one more time. 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Okay, so that looks good. Let's line up the saw just to see how that looks. So one thing I did was I reorientated the sawhorse a little bit so it's out of the line of the cut. Don't want to cut into my sawhorse. Done that before, not on these ones, but on my old ones, so I don't want to do that again. Okay, since I'm cutting alone and it's a long piece, I won't be able to completely balance it. Once I go through, that's going to start sagging, so I'm going to put a little table there right now. I'll have to work around it, so I'll probably have to stop the saw mid-cut, reposition my body, and then continue cutting, reposition the table. So okay, so for this one, like everything else, safety glasses. It's going to get loud in here, so I'm not sure how that's going to translate to the audio on the camera, but I'm going to put on some ear protection. Okay. Plug in the saw. That blade is having a really hard time. Okay, so I swapped blades. Hopefully this does it. I'd hate to have to cut these individually, but if I have to, I will. So let's see what this blade does. Okay, that blade did good. And here's what I want you to notice. Putting the table there, that piece dropped nice and safe. Didn't turn into a problem for me. Okay, let's set up and make some other cuts. Okay, we'll get the guide tapped in to 1.5 inches on this side. One thing I try to do as I go along, since I don't like to track crap into my house, and I park cars in here, I like to, if all possible, do a little bit of sawdust collection as I go. Whether that's wood sawdust or metal or whatever. I don't go nuts, but I try to get some of it out. Because the wind blows here, if I was to open that up, bam, the wind would blow this all over everything. Before you do anything else, unplug every time. Okay, well, there's the shape. Those are the side walls. So that's about it for this video. That was Trailer Walls Part 1. Out.